it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast. And today, oh shit, you won't believe it. I got this girl Sarah here with me, UFO enthusiast, starseed, and she's got some awesome shit going on. I've seen some of your footage that you took in place with orbs and UFOs.
hmm
Very cool. And you have your own show on
I
Instagram.
do.
And
Yes.
yeah, people, I don't know, you're just making a name for yourself, and I love it. So I'm here to
Thank
support that,
you.
and yeah, just here and talk about how you came to be. So yeah, can you
Absolutely.
tell everybody where you grew up and how you fell into this
Yes.
world of the paranormal?
Yeah, so I'll just introduce myself real quick. I am Sarah, UFO Girly. I go by UFO Girly on social media. I'm 43. I have two almost adult children who are 19 and 23. They're girls, by the way. I'm an avid sky watcher. I'm outside anytime I can, any night I can. I work third, so of course, three of those nights I can't be outside, but any other night. I will be outside underneath the stars, you know, with my camera, my Cyanix Aurora Pro, and filming these things. But lately it's been really cloudy, so I haven't been able to. Tonight seems like I'm going to be able to go out tonight, so that's awesome. Um, I'm a third shifter, like I said, and I'm also an ET experiencer and contactee. So I've had personal experiences. I've seen personal beings. I've
Oh,
seen physical, three or four physical crafts in my life, and I have communication and sometimes telepathy with them as well. And like you said, I have my own show. I just started that like maybe I don't know, a month ago or so. Um, and that is called Go Live with UFO Girly. And that's on Instagram, UFO.girly. Go and look that up because we have some good guests. And Dustin, you're going to be one of my guests. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so
hell
happy
yeah,
about that.
yeah,
But I will start. Of course, I have my notes in front of me because I like to go in order, you know.
sure.
So I was born in Santa Rosa, California, grew up there most of my childhood. I always felt different as a child, and I think many starseeds can relate to that. Maybe being the outsider in your own family, a black sheep, something along the lines of that. I was a very sensitive child. I knew things about people prior to having any knowledge about them. I knew whether they were good, bad, mad, depressed, sad, without them, even saying anything. They could be wearing a smile on their face, and I'd still see the insides. And I would really try to make them happy if they're sad or whatever. Um, Anyway, I was fascinated with stars and the constellations and the planets, and I always had a favorite, and that was the Pleiades. I knew it as the Seven Sisters back then. But in my household where I grew up, the talk of paranormal, extraterrestrial, Bigfoot was like normal to me because um, my dad and I and the rest of us, really just myself and him, would watch these shows together. And he's had experiences that he was always talking about. And he's worked in funeral homes and all that and experienced many, many things. So he got me, I felt like maybe was the one who got me into this whole thing until I had my own experience. Um, so as a child, I remember being terrified all the time, though. Um, just terrified that the Greys were coming to get me. So I would never sleep alone. And also I had paranormal activity that I was picking up on in my house. So there was a male figure that would walk, not figure, but entity, a male presence there. And he
Hmm.
would just pace the hallway, and I would know he was there. I could feel his energy. I know that he had died in a fire of some sort. My parents actually recall that, not the fire, but like, the um, me saying, and my brother also saying that there was a paranormal person, a ghost in the house because
Mm.
my brother actually saw him physically.
Oh shit.
Um, so, but anyway, I was also terrified of the Greys coming to get me in the middle of the night. So I would fall asleep in my bed. I was forced to try to fall asleep in my bed. And then eventually I'd wake up, and instantly I would think that they were going to take me. So I would go into one of my siblings' beds, usually my parents, and I would fall asleep there. Like I would never sleep in my own bed ever. So anyway, um, but I don't know if I was like being taken then or if I was just watching way too many shows, with my dad, like Unsolved Mysteries, you know what I mean? Sightings. We were watching all of that.
Hmm.
Um, so one night I had to sleep by myself because my sister and I shared a bedroom. And one night I was um she was at a friend's house because she's 3 years older and I was between the ages of 9 and 10. So I go into my bedroom. She's not there, obviously, and I have to try to sleep by myself. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And I go and walk into my bedroom, and we have this big window, and it's a big rectangular window, and I look out, and there is this big craft. It's a metallic physical craft. It's the disc shaped craft, and
Hmm.
it had like it reminded me of old Christmas lights, those old ones, but
The big
bulbs.
ones.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
hmm It had green, yellow, and I believe orange. Let me make sure. It doesn't matter. It had those colors all
Hmm.
around the bottom of it. And it was just, I was instantly like fascinated by it. It was just like kind of circling like this while it was, gliding in the sky. And in California, you have a lot of activity, like helicopters, police helicopters and that.
Hmm.
So I was trying to, in my 9, 10-year-old mind, I was trying to say, okay, I mean, I knew exactly what it was, but my mind was like telling me, you know, okay, break this apart. Is it? What is it? It doesn't have any wings. There's no sound. It doesn't have a spotlight like the helicopters, the
Hmm.
colors are different and it's a disc shape. There's no tail, nothing. So as it's like gliding, over my neighbor's house, it sends me a feeling, and I just got the chills. It sends me a feeling that, hey, all is well, you know, you're
Hmm.
protected, you're safe, we're just here to check on you, things of that nature. So it was this overwhelming peace and love feeling. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, wow, I wasn't scared anymore.
Hmm.
After that, I was not scared of them anymore, just the ghost.
Hmm.
And so the next morning I run down the stairs and I'm like, Dad, Mom, I saw this UFO, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever,
Hmm.
like parents typically do back in that time. They weren't even worried about that. They're worried about paying bills.
Hmm.
So yeah, they just really discounted it. And so I just buried that experience for until, like, when I was a teen, people would bring stuff up like that.
Hmm.
And I would say, yeah, I had an experience when I was this age, and this is what happened. So we're gonna fast forward to 2014. I had a huge, major, major spiritual awakening brought on by a traumatic event in my life.
Hmm.
Um, and that really opened me up to, I mean, spirits, communication with my angels and guides and all that. And I was doing readings and all this other stuff. Um, but before then, before my awakening, I was heavily into drugs and alcohol, and
Hmm.
anything you can be addicted to, I was addicted to.
Yep.
And I think I knew it was wrong. I knew this wasn't my path, but I couldn't get myself away from it. You
Yep.
know, toxic and traumatic relationships, all of that stuff. I was right there in the middle of it. I have this awakening and boom, my life crumbles around me, you know, and I mean crumble. I went through a lot. And it was really hard, but anyway, so it opened me up, you know, to all of this magical world all of the unseen. I was starting to communicate, like I said, with my angels and guides, and I was also seeing spirits at the time. So that actually went away. I don't actually physically see them, but I can do mediumship sometimes.
Hmm.
Not all of the time, though. It's only like if someone needs like a message really bad or something. Um, but anyway, so fast forward to 2020, I've gotten sober during this time, which they helped me do, or
Hmm.
else, I was even on my hands and knees praying to God, you know, get me sober, blah blah blah. I have two kids; they need me right now, and you know, I need to be the best version of myself I can be. So, anyway, I got sober,
Good for you.
and thank you. And now I was this full blown psychic or intuitive empath, whatever you want to say. And
Hmm.
I'm doing readings and stuff like that, but still not, you know, still not wanting to be here and embracing Earth. I just felt like it was so hard here and so dense here. I just
Hmm.
didn't want to be here, you know,
Hmm.
and however you want to take that. But I was just like in a bad place. But anyway, I we had made this big move to Bloomington, Illinois. I'm no longer living there, but I was in Bloomington, Illinois, and my daughters were with me, and so I'm doing these readings at a shop there. I'm working for 10-hour shifts, and I'm becoming aware that I'm getting like obsessed with extraterrestrials, the abductees, all the stories, like different races. I had no idea at this time there was anything other than grays.
Hmm.
So there's like 250, you know, different species that we know
Hmm.
um, of ETs, and I had no idea. I just thought it was the grays at this point. So um, now I know it was them telepathically like getting me prepared for what I was about to go through, you know? So they're telling me all these things and I didn't know it was them at the time. So one day I'm like sitting there, I'm like watching a YouTube and I hear this message to keep my eyes on the sky. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Um, I already do already, I thought, but I will keep an extra eye on the sky, you
Hmm.
know? So a few days or a week goes by, and I'm taking my dog out with my youngest daughter. And we go up be on this hill behind my apartments. And I think this is yeah, it's 2020 still. And I we go on the hill and all of a sudden I see movement out of my right eye, and it's this humongous, like Galactic Federation ship. I know it's a Galactic Federation ship now. I did not know what it was then, but it was like what I describe as like a skyscraper, you know, like type shape.
Okay.
Huge, huge. And I look over at Caitlin and I'm like, "Do you see that?" And she said, "Yes, what is that?" And we're watching it, and it's cloaked, so you can see the middle. You can see the stars through the middle,
Sure.
and it's just gliding, and then all of a sudden it fades out. Like as soon as we noticed it, it starts to fade. And I
That's
was like,
crazy.
"Whoa!" You know, I was just like, "Oh my God, that is crazy. That is crazy." So anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody about that because I'm still like, you know, new
Right.
to all of this stuff. I'm newly sober, tapping into my gifts even more. So I'm like, I'm not going to really say anything to anybody about this because they're going to think I'm more nuts than, they already do.
Yeah. And I was gonna say the drugs and alcohol must have kept your
Mm.
third eye at
Oh my
bay. And
gosh.
after you
Yes.
got sober, again, you're just saying like your powers actually came out more,
Oh, wow.
and you're probably
Yeah.
still learning more about yourself too, still at the same time. And
Yes.
that's
No,
really
you're
interesting.
right.
That's
You're
very
right.
interesting. No, no, again, now I think especially if you have a connection with one race of extraterrestrials, there's other cases like that. I don't know if I actually have photographs that from Paul Villa actually, and he has this claim. He's from this is 1965. These photographs, but he would take
That's
photographs
incredible.
of these UFOs coming in to pick him up, and they were human like ETs with they were tall with brown hair, brown hair and blue eyes. But
That is so incredible. Oh my gosh.
yeah. So the fact he even got some of them landing and shit. Watch, look at that. He got some of them
Oh
landing.
my
Pick his ass up.
gosh.
Shit.
Pick his ass up.
So,
You're
but
funny.
the only reason why they had this connection with him, they were telling him that his soul had a connection with their race of extraterrestrials, and he still didn't really understood that. Like he didn't really,
Hmm.
but he's like they kept on coming to him and like showing him what's on the ships and how it all works, and just kind of like refreshing his soul of like remembering how to do stuff in
Hmm.
this newly
Hmm.
body of because now we have I don't know if you know much Linda Moulton Howell
Yeah.
there's a theory out there with others whistleblowers that our souls are very important to the ETs. So I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing where they're harvesting our souls, where like once we die, they be put into aliens or hybrids or whatever the fuck.
Or 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 we were that before.
Hmm.
And we're just gonna go back to some of us are just gonna be that. And speaking of um that, they actually told me that they were my family, the
Hmm.
second sighting I had. So the second sighting, or the third, one was when I was a child, the other one was the Galactic Federation ship, and then the other sighting happened 2 weeks later. It was about 1 to 2 weeks, I'd say 2 weeks later, with my daughter again. So I'm outside taking my dog out, blah, blah, and I see activity, movement from my left eye this time. I look
Hmm.
up and there's five crafts right there.
Hmm.
They're perfectly spaced apart and they're just flowing through the sky over the apartment building. And I yelled at her, come down here, because she was still upstairs in the apartment. And I yell at her to come down. She has her phone. I don't have mine because I'm just taking my dog out to the front yard. Nothing, special.
Right.
Um, and I look up and I'm like, oh my God, they're back. They're back. Oh my God. So I yell at her to come down. She's trying to fumble with her phone because she's like freaking out. And they were big discs, like,
Oh
but they
shit.
were shadowy, like
Okay.
very cloaked, shadowy type deals. But five in a row, perfectly spaced apart. And she couldn't hit record. It wouldn't allow her to record for some reason. Of course, it
Hmm.
wasn't the time. And so she just got a picture. And the picture, when it came back, it was just like this big, bright orb, and
Oh
it's
shit.
definitely not what we saw. These things did not have any kind of lights. So they're able to, manipulate whatever is on the actual camera, whatever comes across the camera. But anyway, that night I go to sleep. I wake up and I instantly know I have received downloads and information. It was crazy. I've never
Mm.
felt this way in my life before. And they told me through thought and feeling, because that's how I communicate mostly, is through thought and feeling.
Hmm.
So that's a form of telepathy for myself. Like I have all the clears, but the clairvoyance, clairsentient, that type of deal. But my main abilities are clairsentient, a clear feeling, and then a clear cognizance, and that's a clear knowing. So um, those are my main abilities. So that's how they communicate to me, and it was so hard. It was so hard finding this out because I was so confused. I had no
Yeah, but
idea
oh
what
yeah.
they were talking, like I didn't know what I was feeling. I'm like, what? Um, but I went through this grieving process because, like I told you before, I was so I just didn't like it here. I just didn't want to be here. I wanted them to come get me. It was like um a long lost family member coming into your life and then being ripped away again. So I felt like they
Oh,
came and then they left me again. So I went through this weird grieving process with them, and because when they gave me these downloads that I was their family, I mean, this unmatched, unconditional love I've never felt in my life before um, ran through every cell in my body. And
oh.
and to finally feel whole, that hole being filled that I've felt ever since I was little, ever since I could actually remember, it felt complete. Do
Hmm.
you know, like when a lot of star seeds go through this, when you're out,
Yeah.
I mean, you're little, you just don't feel like you fit in.
Yep. Yep.
Like this is my gang right here. This is this is my family. My true family is what I felt.
Hmm.
And it changed after this. Like everything started to change. I started getting downloads and communications, with them. I'd wake up, have periods of waking up, and there would be beings talking to me, while I was like in the hypnagogic stage where wake and sleep.
Hmm.
So I'd wake up and I would hear these voices. No, I'm not crazy. But they would actually, one was a female and one was a male, and they were actually Pleiadian reptilians.
Whoa.
Yes. So I didn't before I really was hesitant with my first couple podcasts, like about saying their race because you know how people are with reptilians. They were nice, but they were very matter of fact, like
Yeah.
very not very to the point, like not really playing around a lot, like other races can.
Yeah.
But they were just teaching me about humanity and things I was not allowed to remember. So I really uh, it's just stored in my subconscious,
Hmm.
for this time period, but yeah, and I would also have dreams of being on the craft, dreams of going to meetings with a bunch of beings down the corridor. I mean, tons of different beings, different races. And I mean, it started out rocky, the dreams. I'd be I was scared, so scared in the beginning. But fortunately, when my first dream I ever had after this stuff starting, you know, um, was I was on a craft and I knew I was on this craft and all I could see is like LED light. There's no light source. It's all
Hmm.
white.
Yeah.
And I know I'm on this craft, and uh I'm freaking out. My body's like freaking out. It's not my body, it's like my consciousness. You know what
Sure.
I mean? But I feel like there's a body, but there's not a body. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm freaking out, and then here comes this human, and I know who she is. I recognize her right away. And I haven't disclosed her name because I haven't told her about it yet. I don't know if I ever will because it sounds nuts. But anyway, she is a part of a hybridization program. And anyway, she came to me and she was holding me and she was telling me, remember, you have been here before. Don't you remember? Like, it's okay, you're safe here, all this other stuff. And then I wake up. Like,
Oh,
that's just what my dreams started off as until I started getting more comfortable with being on the ship, being in their vibration, and then the dreams actually progress to, hey, I'm watching myself walk down this corridor, like I'm in two different places at the same time. I know it sounds strange, but your consciousness can do that, um, especially in dream state. But
sure.
I was like a fly in the wall, but then I'm actually in my body at the same time, so I can see. I'm just so proud of myself. The fly on the wall part was just so proud of me for um, being able to walk through the corridor with all of these beings and not be scared. I'm just walking like do do do, like they are just nothing, like
Yeah, because you have to
humans.
think too, like other people
Hmm.
in your shoes would be flipping out. But I think there
Well,
might be
yeah.
something that's like maybe they're making you think it's everything's okay. Because there's been
Oh, yeah.
there's been like cases of abductions where they were just terrified out of their mind, and then the extraterrestrial just whispered something in their ear, and then all the fear just dissipated, just went. Poof.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I think
can
every
definitely see that
time it was,
happening.
yeah, I was progressing. Each dream I was progressing more and more. Like my vibration was getting, I was feeling fine, and then I started having beings well, a being in my room, paralyzed me. I lost time with that one. But it was a 3.5, 4 foot gray ET. And my first thought was, oh my God, they're real. They
Yeah,
are real.
yeah, I'd say.
But he had
Um,
no emotion whatsoever.
yeah. And I was gonna say, some of the star seeds that I've and contactees, well, and abductees, I should say, um, uh, are all from Australia. And a lot of them have a
Well,
lot of,
I know.
a lot of them have similar stories of having a lot of sexual connection with these ETs. And I was
Hmm.
wondering why Australia. And I don't know if you heard about Peter Curry, that famous
Mm-mm.
case. He holds the Holy Grail to ET DNA. So he was sleeping in bed and it was about 7 in the morning. He felt like a cat jumped onto the bed and he's like, "Well, I don't own a cat." So opens his eyes and he's realized he's being straddled by a milky white skin woman, but beautiful, a little bit
Hmm.
different features. She had white hair, and he noticed there's another woman sitting on the bed naked too, watching this happen. And he's like, "How the fuck do you guys get in here?" And he starts to panic because he wants to get up. So he tries to get up. She cups the back of his head, pulls her into her chest, and he starts to freak out even more because he can't breathe and stuff. So he bites down on her, and she like, he gets a little flesh in his mouth. He's just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And you hear his voices in his head saying like he's doing this wrong, something went wrong. And right when they said that, they just like disappeared out of thin air. But he noticed that he had a boner for 6 hours. It was excruciating until he noticed there's something wrapped around his dick, and it was like a hair. But he like had to take a tweezers and unravel this thing. And said it was painful as fuck. But right when he did that, it relieved his boner. So like,
Oh
so
my God,
so this guy.
they forgot to take it.
They forgot to take it. So this guy got it tested by scientists, and they found out it was really bizarre.
He kept the hair.
Yeah, got the hair, and then had it tested, and he said it was like
I wish
bizarre stuff
I
from
wish
like,
my hair was that tough,
yeah,
was that
right.
strong.
But no, like he went did a lie detector test too and passed with flying colors. So
Hey, no,
there you go. They're
that
milking us
is,
the old school way, and then doing like the just this
yes,
with
yes.
with the
Hmm.
needle. But no, I don't know. Like, what's really going on? And especially if there's, you said hundreds of races of extraterrestrials having their own
Hmm.
agendas. I don't know
Hmm.
if like this federation has these rules where like, okay, you can come here and do your own
Yes,
experiments,
I'll tell
but
you
there's
that's
only
not
certain
them.
things. Yeah, please
Hmm.
do. But no, it's from an outsider and a guy who's just researching this stuff. It seems like that's what the case is, because like, especially when there's so many different people reporting different races of ETs, different
Mhm.
crafts, different ways of these ETs kind of interact with us. Or sometimes like this guy was even telling me like, uh, uh, I mean, I think it was a guest of ours, was saying like the ETs would show up as like Santa Claus or penguins.
Oh yeah,
You know, like
yes,
stuff like that kind of
yes.
when he was younger. So it was like not as
Hmm.
scary. And then when he got older, they kind of revealed themselves more as the Greys or the so again it like eases the mind. I don't know if you've seen the movie Communion. It's an 80s movie.
I've read the
It,
book.
yeah, it's based
Whitley.
off the book. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I haven't
great.
seen the movie. I didn't know there was a
Check out the movie.
movie. Oh, I'm
Check
gonna
out the
have
movie.
to.
Uh, this who's the guy who stars in it?
Whitley's well, it's by Whitley Strieber, right?
I think so. Yeah,
The book is at least. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Of
But no,
course, we
it kind of goes
Whitley.
through that like session where like yeah these EDs kind of show up as something kind of different until like you get older and then they it is really a different play on it and yeah you should check that one out if you haven't.
No, I'm going to. I'm
Yeah,
going to. Yeah, I go ahead.
no, so have you encountered any sexual encounters with ETs as much as you kind of
No.
seen? Okay. That's cool. I'm
Thank
not saying
God. Thank
no you think
God.
yeah right and then a
Mine's
lot of these
not
women
like this.
a lot of the women I
Mine,
talked to we were talking about like human like ETs that they were having sex
yes.
with. Not like
So,
just like bizarre alien ones, but
mhm.
hmm
Like you said, there's many different races, and some of them, they all have different agendas.
hmm
Do you know what I mean? But the ones in the Galactic Federation do not operate on that level. They don't do that. They don't do abductions. They don't do any of that. That is like government. It's not from, okay, we have an agreement, the Greys do with the government. There's an agreement, and this started in 1940s or 50s, whenever President Roosevelt, I believe it was him, made an agreement. It may have been Eisenhower, excuse me. We'll look at the history later, but it may have been Eisenhower. Um, I'll have to look that up. But one of those presidents, they did make an agreement with these Greys for technology exchange.
hmm
So, yeah, those types can really do whatever they want. And then we can go into the secret space program as well,
hmm Yeah.
and that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But the ones in the Galactic Federation are very good, and they don't do those types of actions.
Sure. Sure. I wonder
Yeah.
if that's like a the first stop for other extraterrestrials that are coming through and seeing there's life here. And especially now that there's a lot of hype. Now it's this asteroid or mothership that is coming towards Earth. I think it's getting really close to Mars or something like that right now. So it's coming, and everybody's got real mixed feelings about it. I don't know why they
Oh
think
my
it's going to be
gosh.
hostile. That's just another thing.
It's
Unless the
well,
unless the Federation here, the ET Federations, are saying, okay, that thing is bad and it's coming, so you might
not
as
gonna
well warn.
happen.
Okay,
It's
that's what I was
not
hoping.
gonna happen.
Well, good.
That is such a clue for like to cause fear.
Sure. Yes.
It's only to cause fear. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, whatever. And people have their own opinions. So please don't take mine with a grain of salt and do whatever you feel.
Sure.
Because people are going to have their own perspectives about it. But what, with my knowledge and what they have told me, the Galactic Federation, is that this is nothing to be scared of. It's just for hype, basically.
Sure. Sure. 'Cause this is like a perfect setup for the
Oh,
Project Bluebeam. You know what I'm saying? Like
oh,
where
it
this
is.
is like, okay, now we got the people kind of scared and wondering, and now we, really have like ancient aliens, the theory of that in our culture since the 50s. So, I mean, it's kind of just tapping away at our psyche of like, you know, you used to wonder. But again, like I would hate to think that the government would spend all this trouble to
Oh, they
scare us
would.
and okay, well.
They would.
I must say, they still have to take on the world. It seems like got Russia and everybody else that wants to kill us.
Oh yeah. I mean, all these other places too have their own
You're right.
agreements
I know
with
Russia definitely
ETs.
does. The
Oh yeah.
KBG, so.
Oh yes.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's just not Americans. It's all over the world who have
Yeah,
agreements with these, with the Greys mostly. Um, so there's several different agendas. We have no idea what's happening. We have no idea. And if people knew, the ones that are especially scared of nothing right now, you know what I mean?
sure.
It's something, but it's nothing. Um, this Atlas, you know.
Well, I think the only people who would be really scared either way, because there's aliens, would be the hardcore religious folk.
Oh,
They'd be the ones
yes.
jumping off the rooftops. They'd be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
there we go.
Yeah.
I'll make the rapture happen myself."
Yeah, nothing against people who believed in that or believe in it or anything like that, but
Sure.
that's not real either.
Yeah, of course. It's like Jesus.
Goodness.
Unless the guy, the messenger of that message was walking on water, then I'm like, okay, that guy might be right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
No,
no.
it's true. It's
It was
true.
funny
But
that it was funny that it was just some random guy on the internet that really didn't have the following that just said like Jesus talked to me last night and said the rapture's coming and the date and everybody who was really religious and knew their shit was like, yeah, that guy's right. Like,
oh
what
my
the fuck?
God.
Like, come
Well,
on
that's
now.
just kind of how organized religion is. They do it's like a pack, you know? Like a
Well, that guy could have been a cult leader
oh
if he had all
yeah,
those Christians listening to
yeah.
that guy.
And I'm not saying all organized religion is like this. So please
Uh,
forgive me, you know, I'm not saying that if you found God in church, great,
sure.
you know, but you don't need to.
Yeah. I find it really funny that a bunch of like Mormon kids asked me to be friends on Facebook, and then they try to just have a chit chat with me.
Oh, and
I don't know if I'm like extra brownie points to converge or something. But like, I'm like,
totally.
do you like see my Facebook kids? Why you what? Do you want to battle this?
Bless their heart.
No, bless their
They
heart.
really do try. They
They do.
really
And
do
it's kind of
try.
funny that the Mormons don't realize they're kind of like the ancient astronauts too. There's a lot of connections with like if it was something from the sky that gave Joseph Smith whatever the fuck.
I
I don't even know how it goes. But again,
don't
these
know.
people believe their God came from a planet called Coli or something. I don't know.
Oh, it could be. I don't know. There's billions
But no,
of
no, their
planets.
basis of their stories come from outer space. That's what I love about it too. At the same time, it's just like, well, it's kind of like, well,
Yes.
step over that line a little bit. Think further back if you're claiming
Hmm.
that these gods are coming from planets.
There you go.
What? Yeah,
There you
uh,
go. Like, does it make sense?
yeah. But
I
we
don't
all want to
know.
wear special underwear.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Um, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, a little off
No.
track.
You're like, I'm had to give that spiel, and
Yeah,
now
I
I'm
had
fine.
to. I just having fun with it. It's my
Yeah,
opinion. It's my show.
it's your podcast.
Yeah. Are they
Yeah,
gonna
you
attack
can
my
do what you
freedom of
want.
speech here or what's up?
That's right. No, I'm pretty much agree with what you have to say.
Yeah, no, you're fun. This is
Yeah,
so
there.
dope.
Yes. Um, yeah, I've had many experiences actually, many in person. Now, I started filming in 2024.
Okay.
And I should tell everybody, first off, that they eventually told me where I was from. May sound weird. It's true
Let's hear
though.
it.
I am actually a hybrid, I wouldn't say hybrid, but I'm a mixture between Pleiadian and Lyran,
Oh,
a
cool.
star seed, and I'm from the star Vega. Before I came here, and which is amazing, which is awesome. They told me all of this stuff in, I believe it was 2023 is when they really came back because they were gone for a while. I won't get into all that because we've already spent a lot of time. And then, and a lot of people know my story
Sure.
already
Sure.
from other podcasts. But anyway, so they came back into my life in 2023 after some much needed. I had to ground myself to this planet, because like I said, I didn't want to be here. I
Hmm.
didn't like her. They didn't like anybody, honestly. And but that changed. I started to work on myself, I started to ground myself, and then they were back about a year and a half later. So I was in Minnesota because I'm a traveler. I travel different states for work and all that, and work at the hospitals. And I was there dead of winter, -20. I'm
Hmm.
in northern Minnesota, in a little town called Bemidji, surrounded by three reservations, Indian reservations.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
so it's a very spiritual place,
In
and
Iowa? Is
no, I'm in Iowa currently,
oh, okay.
but I was in Minnesota at the
Minnesota.
time.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
Cool.
And yeah, they came back full force then, and they're never leaving me. But they told me, like, they invited me. I mean, a lot happened. It was very intensified. And they told me where I was from. They actually invited me to be a ambassador for the Galactic Federation. It is 100% true. It is
Wow.
100% true that I am supposed to be filming and everything else and getting this information out there. But the filming part didn't come until later.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, they told me presented me with a shield, and told, like, it was a pure knowing, and that they were asking me on the shield. It said, like, Galactic Federation, and I don't know what else it said. I can't remember, but it was like hieroglyphic and other wording. But they presented me this shield, and what they were saying was, "Will you be an ambassador?" Like, inviting me, like, "Will you be an ambassador on Earth um,
Oh,
for the Galactic Federation?" And I said, I woke up and I said, "Yes, yes, but you have to show me that this was real, because I'm not going to believe it." I mean, a lot of stuff had happened at this point. I had to believe it. But your human mind wants to say
sure.
that was
It
just a
battles you.
dream. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was just a dream, or blah blah blah. No, this was not a dream. They showed me later that night that this was real. And yeah, so many signs and synchronicities. I actually saw a being, also when I was in Minnesota, in the woods.
Wow.
This was a tall gray. Um, he had a smaller head though. He is very lanky, long, like
Hmm.
long arms and long legs. He was very tall, very tall. But that scared me, and I said, "Guys, I'm not ready yet." I ran into the house because there was a little patch of woods right by these little apartments, like little houses or whatever. Um, and I kept hearing stuff and footsteps in the woods coming closer and closer and closer. And my hair is physically standing up.
Hmm.
So, and I can tell a difference between a deer or some kind of animal, um, you know, um, and this thing keeps coming closer and closer. And I had these cheap pair of like night vision goggles, very cheap, off Amazon. They don't record or anything. It was just like so I can see them better. Um, but I toggled I got up the nerve. The footsteps had stopped, so I knew it was close because I can feel fear, like, all in my body. And I held the goggles up, and there he was, and it scared
Yeah.
me so bad.
Oh, yeah. I'd be tripping out.
Yeah, I ran in the house and I said, "Okay, guys, not yet, not yet. I can't do that yet. I can't meet you yet." Because that's what I felt like. It was like we're here, a meeting. Like,
Oh, I see.
we're showing ourselves to you. Um, because remember, I already had that experience with the gray in my bedroom. And um it was crazy, crazy. I went back outside. He's still there. And I ran back in and I said, no, I cannot. Because the fear is so intense.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
can't even imagine. It was like I was going to lose my life almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's because the frequency that they give off is so crazy, so high that your body, my body, went into a fight or flight automatically. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like they're gonna get me. Even though that this was a peaceful interaction, the frequency was so high, it freaked my body out. And I'm trying to get myself like, okay, calm down, and go out there and meet them. It didn't happen. It didn't
Sure.
happen. I was too afraid. And then they started sending me owls after that. So I got a huge owl tattooed on my stomach.
Oh
Is
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. That you do? Oh, cool. That I'm not gonna show my stomach on
No, yeah.
on
But
this
no,
little podcast.
no, it's funny you say about the owls. I was gonna say there's a guy that I had on my show. He's a Native American elder from Iowa, and he and his wife had an experience with ETs that they were like owls. Like they were sitting,
Hmm.
there's three of them. They're kind of
Hmm.
like humongous, but
Huge.
they're huge, but they look owl-like, but just didn't look right. So he even like took a shot at one of them, and he said it grew. So he just got scared and he started shooting at him and he started growing. And then him and his wife got into the truck and they drove off, and then they had these three things following them until he stopped the car and then got out and then started speaking in his native language. Like this, blah, blah, like this is my land.
Hmm.
This like you
Hmm.
can't trespass. And then they just like stood there and then they vanished. But
Oh
again,
yeah,
like
that's
the fact
them.
that he brought his native tongue into it, like, oh man, that just says something, right? Like,
Hmm.
man, and especially when I thought that was the best honor that I had on my podcast was to have an elder
Hmm.
Native American
Yeah, that's
tell
incredible.
about UFO stories because that's just
That's
very rare
incredible.
to have them talk
Hmm.
to outsiders
Oh
about
yeah,
the ET. So I was like, damn, I struck gold right there. But yeah,
you
it was.
did.
I like when you said owls, I had it like right there, a
Hmm.
connection,
Hmm.
especially in Iowa too, where
Hmm.
you are now too. So it's like, hmm.
Yeah, and I've seen them here too. Whenever I drive to my spot, which is like a minute away in a cornfield, I film in a cornfield. That's our designated. We have a designated time and a designated spot that we meet,
Oh, cool.
and that's how I'm able to get that kind of footage. I'm guaranteed footage anytime I go out there.
That is so cool.
Anytime. And they come in like these clusters for me. So I mean, for 45, they've been out there for hours before, but now it's lessening. They're getting brighter, but they're only lasting for about 45 minutes now.
Okay.
So they come out and you'll see them coming from the left. Like I have hours of footage, but they'll you'll see them coming, they're dim, and then when they start to pass my camera, they'll light up.
Sure.
And there could be, six, seven, eight at a time, more than that at a time. And then you can just see they keep coming and coming.
Is this like
And
CE5 do you do
no, I don't
beforehand
do
or you
any.
just okay.
No, there's
Okay.
agreement. It's an
Okay.
agreement.
Agreement? Okay.
Yes. Um, so I can have footage to put out there. And they also give me a lot of other things as well, not just the clusters. Like I'll record 21-minute long parades, I call them, of just
Hmm.
shooting like their ships. Like I have that and many, many others, big flashes that they give me, people call satellites. I'm not, shut up.
Okay.
And they're always, but that's, you know, non-believers, they'll pull it anything to say, that it's not what it really is.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm. They like that satellite game.
Yeah.
But they
No.
just haven't had. I need to be more loving and peaceful and not say shut up. But um the loving side of me is kicking in and saying they just have not had an experience. So
Yes.
that's what they tell me, like, don't get so upset at people because you want to lash out because you know it's true, right?
Right.
You know what you're saying is true and it's them, and you want to lash out at the people who want to say that it's satellites or whatever, but they say don't even worry about it because they just haven't had an experience, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Oh, whatever.
No, you're right. It really takes
Hmm.
something with their own two eyes to change the minds of people, even the
It really
skeptics.
does.
And it kind of goes with even with. That's why I really harp on the cargo cults. You know, like that's the thing that got religion its
I
basis.
don't I don't know what that is.
So during World War II, this is where it's more prevalent, the cargo cults. We were fighting the Japanese in the Pacific Islands, and some of those islands were inhabited by indigenous people that had never seen an
Oh,
airplane
yes, yes,
before.
yes.
So when the Americans left, they started making runways out of the jungle with the U.S. written on their chest with bamboo rifles, marching with life-size airplanes to entice airplanes to land on their port to give them goods, because they think that their ancestors are the ones that gave them these airplanes to fly around there. So, anyways, you can even like look further back, like ancient India. They talk about these gods coming down with the vehicles, the Vimana, and there's hundreds of gods coming down with blue skin, teaching mankind
Mm-hmm.
different traits and stuff like that. But they always say, "Okay, a promise ridden day, we're going to return." And when they left, they started the cargo cult, and all the temples and that you see in India are in the shape of Vimanas. So again, started that little cargo cult.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
awesome.
yeah, you see it in even further back with in Brazil, the Kayapo Indians talk about this thing that came from the sky with fire and smoke and landed
Hmm.
on the mountain, and it came down into their village, and it looked like the Michelin Man. And all the brave Indians that were there try to fight him with stones and sticks, and it just like turned into dust when it hit his clothing. And this guy must have laughed and like just pointed his weapon to a tree, and it blew up, and all the Indians ran into the bush. And this creature stood in their village for days, like a statue. And so some more brave Indians came with food and offered to his feet, and it started speaking their language. And they're like, "Whoa, how do you know how to speak our language?" He's like, "Well, I had to listen to you guys in the bush to figure out what I
Hmm.
was gonna do with my motherfucking ass." So yeah, and then this guy stays with these people for years, teaching them agriculture,
Hmm.
mathematics, and there's a school that still exists today named Beb Karoti, and that's the guy's name, but it's named after the school is named after him, and it still exists today. And they have a yearly celebration of talking about Beb Karoti, and they dress up one of the villagers as this bulbous straw suit astronaut man that just he just walks around like that,
Hmm.
and they have the people encircle around him, singing the song about him coming down, teaching them, promising the one day to return. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Well,
it's
that's
really
who,
all the
it's
return.
true. It's
Yeah,
true. And that's who taught all of the, I mean, ETs were the ones that came down, taught fire, taught how to harvest, taught
yeah,
everything, how to align with the stars, with the seasons. Do you know what I mean? They
yes,
taught all of that to the ancient ones, or the humans in the way beginning. They have been here. So,
yeah. Since the dawn
they're
of time.
here now. Yeah. They seeded us. I don't know if you believe that, but
Oh yeah,
they seeded us. This is like we're their children, you know.
yeah. And like again, like this is my personal collection of Kachina dolls
Oh, I
from
love
the
it.
from the 19 the oldest one that I have is in the 1930s to the 1950s.
Wow,
So and
that's incredible.
they're all stamped. That has the markings of so they're all real. They should be in museums to tell you the truth.
Oh my gosh.
I won these in auctions and stuff. But again,
Well, you.
the
Okay, go
cargo
ahead.
cult started with the Hopi Indians, with the Kachina,
Yes,
you know?
yes,
So these
yes,
things came
yes.
down and taught the people different traits, but they had
Mm-hmm.
all different bizarre looks. But when they left, they want to make sure because they said they're going to return. So they're going to make sure that children are not going to be terrified when these things come in because this, like this guy's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey kid, you want to learn something?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, if these children hear the stories and see it visually, they're not going to be as afraid when these things do return.
Oh, that's super cool. So do you have like any kind of paranormal stuff happening with those or anything like that?
Maybe. I have no, I haven't had anything like that crazy yet. But no, I have like a shrine of Hopi artifacts. That
I
was just a
love
little
it.
segment of what you saw there. Maybe I have like another picture of like the whole kick and caboot because I like showing it off.
Oh yeah, show me. I love that stuff. I'm in California. I used to bead and everything with the Native Americans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
when I was
cool.
young, I'd be the only white girl in there.
This is my little corner shrine of the Hopi and the Navajo because they have kind of
That's
similar stories.
incredible.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. This is the Navajo stuff.
That's incredible. The first,
That rug is from 1920s.
okay, I was gonna say, what is that?
The whirling
Like,
log.
okay. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
It's thousands and thousands of years older than this what the Germans ever thought it
Yes.
would ever be. But
But you know,
that's why I
when people
love
first look at it, they're like, uh-oh,
oh no. Yeah. Well again,
that's
they're ignorant.
incredible.
They should know that
Yeah,
it's like in
that's
like hundreds of different cultures that are hundreds of years, thousands of years older. And they have stories of these things coming from the stars. I mean, the symbol came from the
mhm,
stars. Like these, who knows? These
beautiful.
ETs could have been wearing some kind of clothing that had that marking and it's stuck with
Yeah, no,
the-
that's true.
you
That's
know.
true.
And yeah, some other Kachinas. They're these are from like
Awesome.
these are from the 40s, I think.
Now,
No, 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 not that
how are you
40s.
do is this a picture? Like, and you're just zooming in?
Yeah, yeah. This is like my picture of my room, in my corner of my
That's
room.
awesome.
It's just like it's just my shrine. This is like where
I
my
love
ancient astronaut
it.
shit.
I love it. That's
Thanks.
amazing because
Yeah.
Native Americans play a huge
Huge,
part.
gigantic
Huge.
role. And then
Hmm.
Wisconsin has tons of Native American reservations here. And
Hmm.
yeah, they know their
Iowa
shit
does
too.
too. Yeah, Iowa does. And I go to this place where it's called Effing Mounds. It
Oh,
has
really?
so, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I just feel called to go there. So I'm gonna go back, but it just has so many bear mounds, like different kind of animal mounds that they've made. Like it's so old, so old. But of
Hmm.
course, we preserved them all. And it's just incredible. It's a very sacred place, and I love
Yes,
it.
that's so cool.
I love going there and walking and just being in that nature, being with the mounds and that.
This is a place called Astaland, 20 minutes away from, or 30 minutes away from Madison, where I live. And these are very mysterious. They're gigantic pyramid mounds
Oh
that
my
are like
gosh.
humongous. So
That's incredible.
this is called the Pyramid of the Sun, and there's the Pyramid of the Moon is a one case stair one staircase pyramid.
Oh, that
So
is so cool.
there's the story that the Native Americans in the area said that these people came from afar, dressed differently, practiced elongated skulls, and they
Hmm.
elongated their skulls, and then they built this village with pyramids, and they built this gigantic wooden wall around it. They waged war with other Indians. They practiced
Hmm.
cannibalism. And then the most
Oh,
mysterious part about this tribe was they disappeared without a trace. There's no sign of sickness or war. And
hmm.
they had the river here. There was tons of fresh fish. Uh,
Hmm.
again, no reason to leave.
Yeah.
But there's UW students that go there and do digs still and digging up bones and pottery and
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's just very mysterious that, again, Aztlan, they think that Aztecs people might have migrated all the way north and set up shop.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
think all that's in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then five
Just
miles
right
away
in
from
them.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
there's Rock Lake that has 10 pyramids on the bottom of Rock Lake. Uh, Frank Joseph wrote two books about the pyramids down there and the lost civilization that the Native Americans don't know much about because of the Ice Age.
Oh,
I
that's
guess
super cool.
Wisconsin was one of the last places that had the Ice Age.
Have you been to Devil's Lake?
Oh yeah,
I was just there.
were you really?
Yeah,
A
I
hop,
went
skip away
there.
from me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So I was
cool.
just there. I mean, that's pretty cool. It doesn't
It
have any
is.
mounds, but I just was
They
like,
do actually.
oh, they do?
They have a Thunderbird there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh shit, girl, yeah.
Oh, I'll
There's a
have
bunch
to
of
go
different.
go
There's a bunch of.
back.
There's a bunch of other legends at Devil's Lake, like paranormal stuff. But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I was called there and I went. My dog was being naughty, so I had to leave early.
Oh shit.
So I didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted. But yeah, it's a nice place.
Isn't it? Yeah, I love that
Hmm.
place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it's endless. We have other rock carvings here, ancient rock carvings and paint rock paintings of the Birdmen. I didn't know we had the Birdmen until I found that out, and I went and saw it with my own two eyes, and I had to take pictures of it. I might have.
You'll have to tell me. I wonder if these places would be close enough for me to drive
Yeah, if you can, yeah,
because I want to see a lot of like the petroglyphs. I want to see like the old I'm going to Colorado, and so I want to see the old structures, um,
yeah.
things like that.
Here's the rock painting of the Birdman.
That's very cool. Very cool.
That's like thousands of years old. And this is kind of like a representation of what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
So,
super cool.
and we have, I don't know if you've been to the Man Mound in Baraboo.
No,
So this,
no.
this
I,
is, yeah, I
I'm
go to this
sorry.
place.
I'm
I go
getting
to this place.
excited.
Yeah, that's cool. I go to this place a lot and visit because this is amazing.
I
Uh,
wanted to go to Baraboo.
yeah.
I did.
So this, once you go there, it has a plaque that says the Indians are, um, created their powerful god. And I'm like, what god that looks like this? Very bulbous. And the fact
Hmm.
that it's meant to be seen from the sky.
Oh, it totally
And
is.
then
Why would they?
there was four other ones that got destroyed back in the 1920s when they were making roads. So you could see he
Oh
almost got
man.
totally destroyed, not knowing until they realized, oh shit, it's a mound. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go see this.
Yeah, so
But isn't it by Devil's Lake, right?
yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I have to see this.
Yes.
I'll be making another trip because I'll be in
Yeah.
Iowa for a little bit, maybe another year. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we could definitely link up in Wisconsin. We can
Oh,
go on
let's
an
do it.
adventure.
Let's do it. Let's go on an adventure.
Cool.
I'm an adventurist.
But no, so yeah, again, from that, again, enticing maybe that God to come back. It's like the Nazca lines in a sense, because I felt
Hmm.
like, I don't know if you ever heard of the Band of Holes in Peru. You ever heard of
Mm-mm.
that? Okay,
Mm-mm.
so this is near the Nazca lines. So the Native American the natives there saw this thing came from the sky and landed and made a track mark all the way down straight, making like shallow holes. So it's like it could have been like a drone thing that was just taking soil
Hmm.
samples.
Hmm.
Basically with this thing. So the Indians witnessed this thing going across the ground and shooting off into the sky. But it made this gigantic line. It was super far, like miles long. But it was just these simple little shallow holes. So the natives started like, maybe we can entice this thing to come back by making helter skelter lines throughout the desert. But then again, like the
Hmm.
priests later on saying, maybe that's not working. So let's show them we're more intelligent by making animals. So they started making
Yes.
animals, and then they started making human-like figures. So again, they're trying to reach out to something into the sky to entice something to come back that they actually witnessed. So the Band of Holes was kind of the start of the Nazca lines. So I was
No,
like,
I
holy
haven't
fucking
heard of
shit.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
I've heard
yeah, look that shit up.
maybe yeah, I will. Because
Yeah.
that's very interesting because you know, there's talk of these things, these huge mechanical whatever that came down to Earth that were here. Yes. I didn't
Yeah,
even
like that
notice.
thing. That,
Absolutely. Is that one of its foots or
this is like a big brick of a, I don't know, of a
or
UFO. UFOs come in all shapes and sizes, and
yeah.
this is
Well,
like a
these
square
things
looking
had
one.
legs. I don't know
Cool.
if you ever heard of that. These things had legs, four
Oh, yeah.
legs.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And so, no, I believe all of that. I believe all that. There's so much we don't know, and so much that's just hidden from us. And I mean, we can sit here and talk on and on and on
Well, that's why I'm
about
going to have you
stuff.
back for another episode so we can
Well,
like continue
yeah.
others more because I feel like we could be talking for hours on
Oh,
end.
we could for sure. One, and then you're going to be on my show,
Yes,
and
yes, that'd be
then
really cool.
yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, after this, we'll definitely schedule one with you.
Mhm.
Really
Yep,
cool.
I'll get my calendar.
Cool. Well, hey,
Hmm.
I'm gonna wrap it up for now because I'm gonna get
Hmm.
something to eat because I have didn't
Me
eat
too.
shit today. But
Yeah.
yeah, can you tell my audience where they can find your stuff at right now?
Yes. So you can find me and my live show where Dustin's going to be soon. It will be, or my Instagram is UFO.girly. I'm on YouTube, UFO girly, TikTok, UFO girly. Facebook is Sarah UFO because you can't do UFO girly. So yeah,
Sweet. Well, thank you. And I'll definitely subscribe to your YouTube channel because I definitely
yeah.
support my guest here. And yeah, no, it's
Thank
awesome. And yeah,
you.
I'm excited to get my audience to get to know you and
Yeah.
have you back on for future episodes. And maybe we can collab with other star seeds from around the
Yes.
world. I
Let's
had,
do it.
yeah, because we can get some from Australia, we can get some from
Mhm.
Austria, maybe we can get
I
some
love
from
Australians.
Norway. And yeah, so we'll have fun
I'll
with it.
have an Australian on tomorrow.
Oh, look at that.
Tomorrow night. I've had Peter Maxwell Slattery. He's from Australia.
Oh,
But
cool.
tomorrow I have Roxanne from Awakening Education on
Cool.
tomorrow night. So you
Yeah,
should see that
I
if you're not
will.
doing anything, maybe.
Okay.
But anywho,
Yeah, sweet. Well, hey, can you stick with me for 2 more minutes?
yeah.
Sweet.